It's 2 a.m. Your alarm is set. Your body is exhausted. But your brain? It just opened a new tab. Suddenly you're back in a conversation from last Tuesday, replaying every word, rewinding every reaction, asking yourself, did I come across wrong? Did I say too much? Did I say too little? You close your eyes harder, but the thoughts get louder. And here's what nobody tells you. This isn't a sign that something is broken inside you. It's actually a sign of something much more interesting. Stay with me. Today, we're diving into the psychology behind adults who feel mentally trapped, caught inside their own heads, unable to switch off, unable to just be. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your brain does this, what it's secretly trying to communicate, and how the same mind that traps you might actually be your greatest hidden asset. Let's get into it. Most people think overthinking is just a bad habit, like biting your nails or scrolling too late at night. But psychologists see it differently. When adults describe feeling mentally trapped, they're usually experiencing what's known as cognitive looping, a cycle where the mind revisits the same thought, memory, or worry on repeat, without ever reaching a resolution. It's not random. It's not weakness. Your brain is doing exactly what it was wired to do. The problem is, it doesn't know when to stop. Think of it this way. Imagine your mind is a browser with 50 tabs open. Each tab is a thought, a worry, a memory, an unfinished conversation. And no matter how many times you try to close one, it reopens. That's what mental entrapment feels like from the inside. Here's something most people never realize. When your mind replays an awkward moment, an argument, or a regret, it's not punishing you. It's protecting you. The human brain evolved with one primary mission, survival. And thousands of years ago, social mistakes were genuinely dangerous. Being rejected by your community wasn't just embarrassing. It was life-threatening. So the brain developed a powerful defense system. Review social situations. Identify mistakes. Prevent them from happening again. Fast forward to modern life. Your brain is still running that same ancient software. You didn't get a promotion. Your brain replays every interaction with your boss for 3 days straight. You sent a text that felt off. Your brain analyzes the punctuation like it's decoding a mystery. The threat isn't real anymore, but your brain's response absolutely is. This one might sting a little. Many adults who feel trapped in their thoughts have unconsciously replaced doing with thinking about doing. Psychologists refer to this as overthinking paralysis, a state where the mind is so consumed with analyzing options that taking action feels impossible. You want to start the business, but first you research, then you plan, then you research the plan, then you question the research. Weeks pass. Nothing moves. And the painful irony? The more you think without acting, the more anxious your brain becomes, because it senses something is unresolved. The loop feeds itself. Thinking becomes the activity, and real life quietly waits outside the door. Ever wonder why you can forget an ordinary Tuesday from 5 years ago, but you can still feel the embarrassment of one specific moment like it happened yesterday? That's not a glitch. That's your brain working exactly as designed. When something emotionally charged happens, shame, rejection, fear, regret, a part of your brain called the amygdala flags it as high priority. It tells the rest of your brain, remember this. Learn from this. Don't let this happen again. So the memory doesn't fade quietly. It gets stored with intensity. And every time something in your current life triggers a similar feeling, that memory resurfaces. Your brain isn't being cruel. It genuinely believes it's showing you something important. The problem is, it sometimes keeps showing you the same lesson long after you've already learned it. Here's where it gets genuinely fascinating. Research consistently shows that adults who experience the most intense thought looping are often the same people who score highest in emotional intelligence and reflective thinking. They notice things other people miss. They feel things more deeply. They ask questions most people never think to ask. These are remarkable qualities. In the right context, they produce great writers, empathetic leaders, innovative thinkers, and deeply loyal friends. But that same depth, without direction, can become a trap. It's like having a high-performance engine in a car with no steering wheel. All that power, all that speed, but no clear direction to go. The most thoughtful minds aren't overthinking because they're weak. They're overthinking because their brain never learned when enough analysis is actually enough. This one is rarely talked about, but it's critically important. Some adults don't just have recurring thoughts. Over time, they begin to identify with them. Their inner world becomes so familiar, so constant, that it starts to feel like home. And the strange truth about humans is this: we often fear leaving what's familiar, even when what's familiar is hurting us. So the trapped feeling isn't just neurological. It becomes psychological. The thoughts feel like you. Leaving them feels like losing yourself. But here's what psychology actually tells us. You are not your thoughts. You are the one observing your thoughts. There is a difference. And that difference changes everything. Absolutely. And this is where the science becomes genuinely hopeful. Your brain is not a fixed machine. It's more like living architecture, constantly reshaping itself based on your habits, your attention, and your actions. This is called neuroplasticity. And it means that no matter how long you've been stuck in certain thinking patterns, change is biologically possible. Every time you catch yourself in a thought loop and consciously choose to redirect, you are literally building a new neural pathway. You're not just thinking differently. You're physically rewiring your brain. Simple practices accelerate this process. Name the loop when you notice it. Say, "There's that thought again." Just naming it creates distance between you and the thought. Write it down. Once a thought is on paper, your brain often releases its grip. The job feels done. Move your body. Physical movement signals your nervous system that you are safe. And safe brains don't need to stay on high alert. These aren't just wellness tips. They're neurological interventions. Here's the twist in the story. The adults who feel most trapped in their thoughts are often the same ones who, once they find balance, become the most self-aware, insightful, and emotionally intelligent people in any room. The depth that creates the loop? That same depth creates extraordinary empathy. The analysis that becomes paralysis? That same analysis, when channeled, becomes brilliant problem-solving. The mind that replays conversations? That same mind learns from experience faster than almost anyone else. You were never broken. You were just a powerful mind without the right tools. Your thoughts were never meant to be a prison. They were always meant to be a workshop, a place you visit, create, reflect, and then leave. The goal isn't an empty mind. It's a mind you're in control of. And that kind of control, it starts the moment you realize the door was never actually locked. If any part of this video felt like it was speaking directly to you, that's not a coincidence. These patterns are more common than most people admit. And understanding them is the first real step toward changing them. If you found this valuable, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach people who need this content. Subscribe if you want more psychology breakdowns like this one, delivered in a way that actually makes sense. And I want to hear from you. Do you ever notice yourself getting pulled into a thought loop and struggling to get out? Tell me in the comments. You might be surprised how many people feel exactly the same way. Next video, we're exploring why some people feel like they're always waiting for their real life to begin. If that hits close to home, you won't want to miss it. See you there.